and welcome back to the channel. I thought we could do something a little bit more casual today and take a look at my DIY planner almost 6 months later into using it. So I made this planner at the end of last year and then started using it at the beginning, obviously in January, but since then it's also became where I journal and keep all of my notes and commonplacing. Any like stats or anything that I might want to keep also goes in here. I'm loving it. It is a Hobonichi A5 notebook, so it has the same paper as like the Hobonichi planners. This is my weeks from last year and it's great. I've recently made a few upgrades, like adding tabs to the sides and adding these metal indexes as well, which I will show you in a second when I flip through it. If you're interested in looking at this planner before I really started using it, I made a video at the beginning of the year showing my like journal notebook ecosystem for the year, which I will have a link down below, which you can check out if you'd like. And before we get into it, I just want to talk about one upgrade that I made literally last night, but I finally was able to get my elastic attached. Before it was just a loose elastic that I would take on and off and just like set somewhere on my desk, and now is fully attached. I'll show you how I did that. Let's just get straight into the look at the planner. Okay, here we are, and here's the planner. Nice top-down view with all of my stuff. I figured I'd do a little recap of everything in case you don't want to watch the other video, but this is the Hobonichi A5 notebook. I got it when I ordered my weeks. I ordered this one and another one just to make the shipping more worth it, and ended up using it for this planner setup. It was originally yellow, but I didn't super love the color, so I went over it with some moss green gouache. I tried to do it pretty lightly so that the yellow still shows through a bit, and I feel like as I've used the planner, maybe the cover rubs a bit, but the yellow is starting to show through a bit more now. The cover is from Notely. It's just the A5 clear cover, and I do think it's a little bit nicer. It feels a little bit nicer than the Hobonichi one. A little bit more like satin, and less like plasticky feeling. Like I said, this elastic setup is new, so I'll show you how I did that. I got this Traveler's Notebook repair kit, and it came with a few things like bookmarks, which I didn't end up using, and these colorful elastics, which have been really handy. So for this setup, I have just an elastic that's cut to this size. I was previously not sure if I wanted to go this way or not, but I have ended up using it this way more, which is nice. So to get it attached on the inside of the notebook, I have another elastic inside the cover of the notebook just across the front page, and it is going underneath the plastic cover. I did originally think I was going to need to go through this, but that didn't end up working, so that's why there are holes punched in the top of the bottom. But what I ended up doing is just punching the tiniest little hole through the center where I wanted the elastic to be, and looping this elastic through this one. And I do think I'm considering possibly adding a little folder or something in this elastic, Traveler's Notebook style, for all my stickers and stuff that I have just shoved in here. But yeah, that's how the elastic is attached. I feel like you could do this with most notebooks. Even without the cover, this would work. It will, without the cover though, it does slide up and down as you put it on and off. So that's the elastic. I'll have the names of all of where the stickers came from either on the screen or in the description, but most of them are from Wonko. I am subscribed to their Patreon and I get stickers from them every month. And then these are from a Flash PNG collab. And then on the inside of the cover, I have just some stickers I've been using lately shoved in, and then this is taped in to make a little envelope for my ruler. But if I do end up making the folder, I'll probably just slide that in that. But I'll talk about what I've been using these for later, as well as these. I haven't started using these yet. The first spreads are the same as they were when I showed the video last time, only I've started to use them. So since I started using this planner, I started tracking my periods manually instead of using an app, and honestly it has been really nice. I thought it would be annoying, but it hasn't been that bad at all. And then down here is the key for this spread, which is probably currently my favorite spread in the whole notebook. When I made it, I wasn't sure how I was going to use it, but I have decided to use it like this. Basically, I have assigned a color to all of the tasks that, like the big tasks that I do on a regular basis, and have decided to just color in one of those colors for each day using the color that just is like the focus of the day. Like this lime green color here is video stuff, whether I'm recording or editing. So any day that is that green is a day that I focus mainly on making content. This lighter green yellowy color is art. So on days that are that color, I focus mainly on making artwork. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how the spread will look all filled in at the end of the year. It's been really fun. I really enjoy coloring in the little boxes. Next spreads are the monthly spreads. I'm just going to skip to an empty month. Not much really to say about this. I haven't really changed anything since the last one. I'm not sure if I had the phases of the moon or not, but those are on there. For the lines and everything, I hand drew all the lines without a ruler using this ink and a fountain pen. Didn't use this one, but I have been using this for most of my planner stuff. But this graphite gray is what I used for all of the spreads and the writing in this book. And it's water-based, so it does smudge if it gets wet, which has been a tiny bit annoying. Like Soba jumps up on my desk and sneezes right in my planner for some reason. But for the most part, it's been fine. And I like the color, and I like that it's not quite black. The spread was empty when I recorded my last video. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a full spread for January 2027, but I've since added it. And then I also added the spread, which looking back, I feel like I could have put somewhere else in the notebook, but it's right here, right after the monthly spreads. This is my Artist Way spread, just tracking how well I'm doing with the morning pages, specifically the making artwork and doing sketchbook stuff. So I have a section for each chapter a week or whatever with the title of the week and 2 boxes for each day to hopefully fill in for sketchbook pages. As you can see, I did really good for the first 4 weeks and then kind of fell off in week 5 and 6, which was the last video I just posted, trying to get back into the habit of it. So this is this week, and then I've been putting in a quote or 2 from each week of the reading that felt relevant to my experience of the week. And there's a metal clip on this. It's reusable. These have been great. I got a pack of 8 of these and I'm loving them. I also have one on the current monthly spread and also this spread, ones that I go back to often. Next we go into the weeks, which I have been consistently using every week. Some weeks I use lots of stickers, some weeks I don't use any. And I've added these tabs on the side, which is a number for each month. So if I go to 6, that is the start of June. And then this is the current week. So this is what the weekly spreads look like. For the most part, I put my habit tracker here. I have been putting my exercise for each day of the week over on the side, but I haven't really liked that. So I recently, last night, started an actual spread for exercise tracking. That's going to change. A lot of times I'll either put a like ongoing to-do list on the sides of anything that I need to do. Sometimes it's the tasks I need to do for the Artist Way or just anything I need to get done in the week that's not specific to a certain day. A lot of times I will draw the monthly calendar in the corner. I think it's just nice to know kind of where you're sitting at in the month at a glance. And yeah, that's the gist of the weekly spreads. They're basically just a bigger version of the weeks from Hobonichi, because I liked that spread when I used it in 2025, just with more room to write and scribble notes. I find that if I don't have room to scribble random things, I tend to have these little pieces of scrap paper all over the place, and they can be kind of hard to keep track of. If I do need bits of extra paper to write on, I try to use these when I can. This is just like sticky notes, and this is just a to-do list pad. I got both of these at the Mochi Things store here in Seattle. After the weekly spreads, we get into the back of the notebook that I just use for random stuff. And the big one here is my YouTube stats. This is something I did at the beginning of my YouTube career, but kind of stopped doing. And I'm doing it again in hopes of it helping me get back on track with making YouTube content. I'm very close to reaching my watch hour goal for getting partner again, which is exciting. When I stopped making content, I lost my partner status. Even though I have a lot of subscribers, I've been trying to get my watch hours back up and getting actually active subscribers, and I've been making a lot of good progress in just like the last couple months, so I'm really happy about that. And you see there's a little green dot up here. This is where these stickers start to be more relevant, and this is a new addition as well, and I am blasting through these stickers because I went through and categorized everything. I'll probably need to get more of these. And I put a little key here in case I forget. And next we just get straight into the notebook section. So as you can tell, the green is relating to YouTube. Same green on this page. I don't have this categorized because it's obvious. Any big sticker like this is my coffee ratings, which I either peel and re-stick the sticker from the packaging on or use this glue tape, which has been nice. Quite a few of those, and then I will blur this, but the blue, any blue is journal entries, and I use the tabs here at the bottom to mark the month that I am writing in. Next middle tab is this one, just a game we're working on. I'll also have one on my current page that I'm using as either a shot list or just like scribble page for the current YouTube video I'm working on. And when I made my first video, I was using like a ribbon as a bookmark, and I ended up hating that. So I've just gone to using a regular bookmark to mark my current page for journaling. And yeah, I still have lots of pages left. I marked it to halfway so I would know if I was going to run out too early. Used a little post-it note for that. Have you seen the little post-it notes, the tiny ones? It's these, and they almost perfectly fit into my monthly spread. For all of my writing, I use this ink. It's called Pine Tree Green, and it's very pretty. It's green, but it has this really nice warm brownish red undertone to it. And then I use it with the Kakuno Pilot fountain pen, which I actually really like. For all these little squares that I have filled in, the same for my habit tracker, I'm using this olive green highlighter. I think it's a really nice color and it fits in with everything. For other random bits of writing, I'm using this 3-color gel pen. Right now it has black, blue, and red in it, but I also have a green. I don't use it too much in this though because it does tend to smudge, which I don't like. And the last spread that I've only just recently added, I added it last night, is my new exercise spread for tracking my workouts. I'll try this one out, but I'll probably make another one with a different workouts that I can do. In my weekly, I basically had 4 separate ongoing spreads that had like my split laid out, whether it was like back day or arm day or whatever. I've kind of fallen out of like weightlifting since getting surgery, so I'm trying to get back into that very gently. So this is kind of more of a very basic, almost full body exercise spread that gets most of everything I need if I add in walking and yoga occasionally, hiking, and the other random activities. As I get strong again, I'll probably add to this a bit. This is all using just the 10-pound dumbbells I have at home, which I would like to expand a bit. In the back there's another little pocket, which I have this in. This was a recent purchase. It's an eraser guard, but I kind of wanted to see if I could try to use it as a stencil, and it was only like $1, but I thought it would be fun to just play with, get something just for fun. And it just lives in the back here with these little notes. And there's a pen tab, but I don't really use it much because my go-to pen is this one, and I have to put it upside down and it just slides right out. That's an update on my DIY hand-drawn planner. I'm still really loving it, and I think I'll probably do it again next year. Some of my favorite parts are the fact that I didn't use a ruler, so a lot of the lines are really wiggly and everything is handwritten, so it's a little bit imperfect, and I'm really enjoying filling it out. Oh, that's another thing. I've been adding an art log to keep track of what art I've done for the week. On this week, I've been putting it over here, so I have a spot to be for each day what art I did in hopes of making more art. That's the planner. It's only 6 months in, so I would assume that there will probably be more changes over the next 6 months, but it's already starting to get a little thicker. I love seeing all the tabs start to come in. These metal reusable tabs have been really nice. I basically keep one on my current weekly spread, my current monthly spread, and my current page that I'm using for planning YouTube videos. And yeah, you saw these blue numbered tabs, but I also got these colorful ones, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use for yet. I thought about using them for categorizing my commonplacing, but I'm not really sure how I would do that, which colors I would use for what. There's a lot of colors, so I don't know. It might just end up being like anything notable that I might want to look back on or something. But these have ended up being really nice so far. I think it'll be nice to be able to just flip through the back of my notebook and know very quickly what each section is about for quick referencing. That's my planner / notebook / journal / commonplace, and I really love it. I hope if you are interested in making your own notebook planner setup that you feel like you can. It is quite tedious to go through and draw out every spread, but it's also really nice getting something that's exactly what you want. I guess you don't have to do everything ahead of the time like I did. I went through and drew every month and every week before the beginning of the year, but it was also kind of nice having a little project to chip away at slowly. I do think I will do this again next year. I'm really loving it. I don't know what notebook I will use. The Hobonichi one is nice, but the cost of getting one can be pretty expensive, and I really think any A5 notebook with grid paper that is pretty thin and durable would be fine. I've also thought about making my own notebook. I would love a passport size notebook. I just don't know how actually usable it would be for me because I like to write a lot of stuff every week. I think I would need it to be a daily spread if I was going to do something so small, but it is something I'm interested in looking into, so I might do that. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting in some way for you. If you have any questions about my planner or notebook and how I've set it up, feel free to ask them. I will do my best to answer them. I'd also like to hear if you have any system that is working really well for you or is just fun in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you like art, please subscribe. Like the video if you liked it, and I will see you soon for the next one.